All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bird Flock Podcast. As you can see, I'm here with a guest, some guy that you guys have already seen an episode with. We got a quarterback for your Montreal Alouettes, Davis Alexander. First off, Davis, thanks again for joining us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
For sure, you're always welcome anytime. But to kick it off, I'm gonna start you with a nice, easy question. I don't think we've talked to you much since winning. Now you've had time to sit back and relax and get it all in. So, how does it feel being a champ?
Yeah, man, that was just an incredible run. And we had a blast doing it. Even carrying into this season, 13 wins in a row. It's been a lot of fun. We had a hiccup last week, but it's been a blast, and we've pretty much kept a good part of the core together. Even the guys who left, I've stayed in touch with, and it's just a real special bond, real special moment for us.
Yeah, even comparing it to last year, going into training camp last year, there's kind of the uncertainty of the team and everything. And now you come back, like you said, the core is pretty much all together. So what was really different aside from that big thing this year going into training camp?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just confidence levels, right? We felt like and still feel like, we're top team in the CFL and it's going to take a lot for us to be knocked off, but we also understand that, anything can happen, especially in this league, right? But yeah, I would just say from the moment camp started, we were a confident group.
Yeah, confident. Obviously, you came out swinging, 5 wins in a row. What was it like to get the season started like that? And I know, obviously, like you said, last week was a little bit of a hiccup, but coming out five in a row, obviously, I'm sure the boys were buzzing.
Yeah, yeah, especially, starting the season off in Winnipeg. We kind of felt like we probably should have been at home after winning the cup. So, that kind of lit a little bit of a fire under us, honestly, for that game. And, pretty dominant performance. And, obviously carried on for four more wins after that. Got a little shell shock last week, but it's good it's honest. It is, obviously you want to go 18-0, but it is good sometimes to just have a little reset and just remind all of us, remind all the guys, that we are freaking still human and anything can happen. So, any given Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, and obviously there's three guys that I kind of want to talk about mainly, but I guess the leader of this football team, he came out, Cody Fajardo, and he came out swinging. And it seems, I don't know if you've noticed it or if it's just us kind of overthinking maybe, but it seems that he came out and his arms seemed like rested, like he could throw the ball farther. So I don't know what you've noticed maybe in practice and in the offseason that maybe something changed with him.
Yeah, again, I think it's just confidence thing, and he'll tell you the same thing when he's confident and he knows, what he knows that his guys are doing exactly what he wants them to do. He's not afraid to start showing that gunslinger mentality that he does have. And just starting, let our guys make plays. I think Tyson after this week was third overall receiving yards. Cole's had some huge games for us. Keon too. Even having Reggie back, I think he's already got three touchdowns. Maybe it's just two, but um, just he's confident in our whole group. Um, and it's definitely showing the way he's placing the ball. And I think he's got the highest completion percentage, if I'm not mistaken, like 77%.
Yeah.
So he's been lights out.
Yeah, you just touched on another guy I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The emergence of Tyson Philpott, the breakout for him. Maybe kind of the same question is what have you noticed from him and how is he broken out and maybe putting his name up there with the best in the CFL right now.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people would say he's up there with the best, if not the best. But it wasn't a huge shock to me because it's all stuff I've seen them do in my 3 year, us being in it together, my 3 years being here, or two and a half, whatever you want to say. I mean, his rookie year, Eastern Conference semifinal or Eastern Conference final versus Toronto, I think he went for like 140 and a touchdown. He was super impressive there. he's had unfortunate starts every year besides this year, knock on some wood, with injuries, little hamstring stuff. So I think, it doesn't really shock any of us, for what we've seen Tyson do. Um, and I think he's got honestly more room in the tank, and I think he could continue to be really special for us, and end up being a top receiver in this league by the end of the year if he's not already.
For sure, yeah, it's exciting to watch right now. Another guy exciting to watch. I don't know if you've seen, but we started the Walter Fletcher fan club, and man, as he emerged. Last year he obviously had to sit behind, stand back, and didn't dress for some games, but he came in this year, took it by the horns, took the bull by the horns, and he's been lights out so far. So, um, is it just now that he's finally getting a chance, or is this like all off season he was just ready to get it and ready to show what he could do?
Yeah, I mean, I know he works really hard in the off season. But it's gonna sound similar to Tyson. My first year here with Fletch, he came in week 3. Danny brought him in from Edmonton for a trade, I believe, and he was phenomenal both in the run game and pass game. I think in that first year he had like 370 plus yard receiving plays or something crazy like that. So this is the Fletch that obviously Stanback was our power horse last year. He was our guy, and it's just kind of the way Moss's system works. So there wasn't a whole lot for Fletch to show, even last year, I think versus Edmonton, he had 100 total yards. So it's this has just kind of been the right clicking time for him, right? Where opportunity meets preparation, and he's freaking showing it, and we got to continue finding a way to get him the ball, even with how good our receiving core is. Add him to the mix, and our O line's really starting to find it in the run game. So just continue trusting our guys, trusting Fletch.
Yeah, and I obviously know that you haven't been the one starting the games, but even in practice, like sitting there watch them, maybe getting reps with them, how much easier does it make both Tyson and Fletch? How much easier does it make when they're clicking like this for you as a quarterback?
Oh yeah, I mean, all you got to do is just get the ball in their hands, right, and they're gonna find a way to make a couple guys miss, and get some extra yak for us and all that. So it definitely makes life a lot easier, especially for Cody, I would imagine. But just as a play caller, all that, seeing the guys do phenomenal. It's definitely been fun to watch, and you don't know who's going to go off every week.
Yeah, for sure. It's been different every weekend. And you talked about Reggie before, getting him back, 2 touchdowns in his first game back. Obviously, the team they saw him come back from missing all last year. What was that vibe like in the locker room after having him coming back from such a big injury and playing like that?
Yeah, I mean, Reggie's one of my best friends, so we just been kind of obviously stayed in touch through it all and stuff, but just seeing him grind and like you said, all last year, being on 6 game basically, and I think he only practiced 1 week because of the rules or whatever. And he looked good last year during that practice, but obviously he wasn't full go and ready to go yet. And then just I think it was like 710 days or something.
Yeah.
I think is or something like that.
Something
I
crazy.
think
Yeah,
close to
something
that.
crazy.
Yeah, and just for him to the first game come back and not only score once but twice, it was just very cool. And I know his son was there to see that, and he was really excited about that. And all he wanted to do was play in front of his son. So yeah, I think that just that in itself was a special moment. But yeah, and everything on top of it, ACL, and then 2 touchdowns, pretty cool deal.
Yeah, and then moving to another injury. I'm not obviously not going to ask any details. Don't want you to give anything away, but Cody obviously went down last Thursday. Um, I'm going to talk about you right now in game. How does your role in game change? Um, how you prepare for every drive now instead of when Cody's out there.
Um, I mean, I gotta think I prepare pretty similar. You're not gonna like that answer, but I gotta think, I gotta think I do. Just because things can happen so fast, and um, you know, but between who would go next between me and Caleb and stuff, honestly, it hasn't. It's I think the coaches have done it on purpose, so we're both ready. There hasn't really been a full clean answer, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, so it
Mhm.
keeps us both ready to go, and both, you can't be bullshitting or anything like that. So um I try and stay super involved in the game. During the game, I'm always with Moss on the iPad, and then me and Cody always exchange when I'm seeing what he's seeing right after that. So like I said, I try and stay um as involved in the game as possible. Just not only helps me, but I feel like it also helps Cody. So yeah,
Yeah, and then I guess the same it would be the same answer in how you're getting ready for these upcoming games if he's out.
yeah. I mean, I think depending on what we hear back from the injury and all that, I'm sure Cody will still be around and still helping us. Like it'll be the same QB room, same everything. So I'm sure we'll probably talk like he is the starter if he is the starter this week, and go from there because we talk about the same stuff every single time. It's not like uh, our ideas bounce back and forth off each other's heads, so I'm sure we'll be able to keep the same routine.
Yeah, you just touched on my next question too, is the report between you two. Obviously, he's now in year two, but that whole year you've had with him now, obviously you're still a young quarterback. You haven't really had your chance yet, but how much is he helping your game adapt to not only the CFL, but growing in general for anywhere that you might take off?
Yeah, I mean he's been fantastic, helping me, and we truly do seem to enjoy, actually being around each other. Sometimes it's not always the case with quarterbacks in the same room. As much as people want to say that, sometimes it's not always the same case.
Yeah.
But we do stuff outside of football together. Um, we talk about every game that's on. We were just talking about the ALNL All Star game that happened last night. And then, he's done a really good job, actually taking control of this team and being a leader. So, just picking up on stuff he's doing, within our locker room, in our clubhouse, all the stuff, making sure guys are connected, making sure our receivers are on the same page because it is so important. And yeah, he's been really impressive, especially going from year one to year two, and he's just a lot more comfortable with the guys and stuff. And I mean, he's done some obviously really good things, as you can see, and that's his performances have shown.
And yeah, we've talked a lot about two quarterbacks in this room, but there's also a third one. So kind of the same question. I know he started some games in the CFL, started some games last year. What has he helped you? And Caleb, what has Caleb helped you with?
Yeah, especially Caleb and I, like especially in our first year together, uh, we bonded over not we didn't know the offense at all. So Coach Moss obviously coming over with Cody, they had the whole playbook and stuff that they've been doing since like 2018 or 2019, I think. And me and Caleb were kind of looking at each other like, you know, we were supposed to know some certain stuff that we just had no idea. And Cody and Moss were, on to the next step, on to the next install. And me and Caleb were looking at each other like, what the hell, what are we supposed to do? We have no idea what's going on. But yeah, we've shared some bonds over that. We've been roommates on a handful of trips. We get along really well too. And even if he's the guy and he's going in, I'm still going to kind of treat it the same way and help him. Even in the last game, we were communicating, bouncing ideas back and forth too. So we got a good relationship as well.
Like you said, I mean, I've heard many QB rooms that are not like that. So it's always good to get you guys always on the same page. And I know
Yeah.
you guys are always ready for next man up if it does happen. Now going to the whole team, obviously we look at last year, week 5. We look at this year, week 5. A little bit of a different storyline. Aside from obviously having winners in that locker room now, and guys that want to play for a winning team, what would you say is the biggest difference in the way that you compare the two teams? Because even though all the players are pretty much similar, obviously everything grows year in year out.
Yeah, I think obviously once you start winning, um, you kind of see what it takes and you kind of see what that vision is that Coach Moss and Danny, and all the coaches obviously, but it starts from the top. Um, Kind of the vision that they're trying to put out there. And then as soon as you kind of start seeing things that are adding up or you don't feel like are a part of the coach's vision or what we're trying to get accomplished here, you're quicker to shut things down that shouldn't be going on. Whereas last year, we were so bumpy. I think we started off 2-0, then we lost three, then we won three, then we lost four in a row, and then we went on a run. You know what I mean? So as soon as you start winning, you get that taste of winning. You kind of know what the standard is around the locker room. There's been practices this year where maybe last year that was the standard and we were okay with it. Where this year, we've shut it down and been like, hey, this isn't what it's supposed to look like right now. So it's honestly winning has helped our whole team grow leadership wise. And it's been really fun to watch and um, definitely special to be a part of.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's definitely fun to watch. I could definitely confirm that. But obviously, Jason Moss now in year 2, obviously with you guys. Um, is he a little bit more harder on you guys than he was last year, like less lenient for those type of practices that you were just mentioning?
Yeah, I would say like those type of practices for sure, but honestly, and I think it makes him pretty proud. He doesn't really have to say a whole lot because it starts from the players first. Usually the players are more upset than the coach. I mean, the coaches are upset, but we voice it sooner than the coaches do. Whereas last year was kind of we thought we'd have a good practice, and Moss would be like, no, 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 that's not the standard. That's not what we're going for. Um, so I think he's still the same person, still the same coach. He definitely still has it in him, but he hasn't had to do it as much because the players have taken a little bit more responsibility this year.
Yeah, and now six games in, 12 left, not including playoffs. What are we expecting from the Montreal Alouettes the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, you're just going to see a group of winners, right? Obviously, end goal is Grey Cup number 9. Um, there's a lot of season left. There's a lot of things that we got to work on to make this team scarier. But I mean, the fans and spectators across the sport. I mean, you're going to see a team that fights extremely hard and leaves it all out on the line every single game, no matter what the circumstance is. That's kind of the culture that we are building here. And we just want to be dominant across the league at all times.
Yeah, for sure, man. You got me fired up right here. But obviously, like you said, number 9 is what you're looking for. I want to go
Yeah.
back to banner night. What were you feeling when that banner came out, man?
Yeah, I mean, that was really cool, right? That kind of, put the icing on the cake and, kind of closed that chapter of the book and started a new one. And we came out, obviously fired up and we did phenomenal, but it was very cool, sold out crowd. That was phenomenal. Even though, uh, who was the week before, not this past week, but
In Calgary.
no, sorry, our second home game.
It was Calgary, no? On
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah, sorry. Yeah,
On
yeah, sorry,
Saturday.
sorry, sorry. That atmosphere was
Yeah.
phenomenal too. We all
Place was
thought that,
rocking.
yeah, we thought it was sold out as well then too. But yeah, that banner night was special and the crowd wasn't as involved probably because we were up, 30-3 early or whatever. But they were still phenomenal and they were having a good time. But yeah, no, that was very cool to see the banner, and it kind of gives you chills.
Yeah, another chapter that's closed apparently, and I noticed this obviously at the beginning of the season. No more number 3 for Davis. What happened with that?
Oh
What's
yeah,
going on, buddy? You switched your number last year also. What's going on?
I know, I know. I the year before I switched my number to 3 because I like the look, and I respect VA, and we're close friends as well. So I thought it was pretty cool number to switch to. And then number 10, a little more personal. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but my dad, he wore number 10. He played professional rugby, and he wore number 10 his whole career. And then we figured out this offseason that he's, battling stage 4 lung cancer. So it's just kind of a little, tip my hat. I saw the number was open. So I just, asked, see if I could switch. And I know it meant a lot to him, and he was thrilled about it. So yeah, I felt really bad because, there were a couple people at the game that, excuse me, were wearing my jersey, and they were like, "Hey, you switched to 10," and I'm like, I'll see what I can do for you. Maybe I can get one switched out for you. But yeah, that's the story behind it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we're sorry to hear about that. And if
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
you need anything, feel free to reach out, and we're always here for you, man.
Well, thank you. That's okay.
Now to go to a different, you've answered the tough questions. Now, Dawson wanted to throw in a little sprinkle question. Obviously,
Yeah.
the world is taken by storm right now. NCAA 25 came out first time in what 11 years or whatever. He wants to know if you're on the grind and what squad you're using.
Yeah, I absolutely am on the grind. We were just in, my girlfriend and I, we just went to Lac Superior. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Like an hour and a half away. So we got back yesterday. So I didn't get the grand opening of it 2 days ago, but we went straight to Costco, bought an Xbox, and then bought NCAA 25. I've been playing uh done my fair share. But I've only tapped into Ultimate Team right now. So I'm on Ultimate Team right now. Team's all right. We're like 80s across the board. Um I was just playing with one of my buddies, and we faced this because I don't know if you've done it, but the co-op on
No,
Ultimate Team.
I don't have it yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's
I'm
co-op on
slacking right
Ultimate
now.
Team. Yeah. And you kind of take your whatever, your friend's offense and your defense, and combine and play, and we just played a guy who had like 491 overalls, and I don't think they've put down the game since it came out, so we just got our ass kicked, and it wasn't very fun. But it's the gameplay is awesome, and it kind of took me. I haven't played Xbox in like almost 5 months probably,
Oh
and
yeah,
I had to hop back on for it.
for sure. It's one of those things you definitely got to hop back on. So would you say it was worth the wait for 11 years? I obviously know 11 years is a long time. I love playing the game as a kid, but
Yeah, I mean, there's not really an excuse for 11 years, right? But it's a lot better than any Madden that's come out, and the gameplay's actually they didn't mess this one up.
it's about time. That's what I love to hear. When I
Yeah,
when I hop
yeah.
on it, I'm gonna be fired up. That's all I need to hear.
Are you getting it? When is it? 2 days it comes out?
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. I haven't officially bought it yet, but I'm gonna have to get on it. I'm not a big video game guy lately, but like you said, you gotta have to hop on for this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. That's all I got for you today. Obviously, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna let you get back to the grind so you don't get
Yes,
dusted by
sir.
90 overalls later. But I
Absolutely.
appreciate you hopping back on with us. You're obviously welcome anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.